Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. Okay, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand and get your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. And so today's video is about how to get rid of anger. Okay, now for a large amount of my years, I used to be so angry. Okay, I didn't quite know exactly where the anger stemmed from. I think it was really me being hurt, right? And I think in most cases, when you get down to someone that has a lot of anger, oftentimes is because of hurt, right? They feel that they was hurt. They feel that maybe they was betrayed, or stuff like that. And I think it was because of me feeling like, oh, my mother should have been in my life, or um, my life should have been different, or whatever it was. I would oftentimes, you know, just act out, and it would appear like it would seem like, oh, she's angry, or she has a bad attitude and stuff like that. But a lot of it is underlinement of whatever it is that we tend to be experiencing. And oftentimes, since you don't talk about it, it turns into something different. I remember I had this passenger when I was doing Uber, and I was thinking about this, me making this video, because the book I'm reading, The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power by Vernon Howard. And this passenger I had, me and him, we started talking like many times. The passengers who would get in my car while I was doing Uber or Lyft. And me and him started talking, and I was asking him, what was some of the things that he liked to do, and he was telling me like he liked playing video games and stuff like that. He said, but he has like a lot of bottled up anger. And one of the things that I suggested to him was, you have to see where the anger is coming from. It was another young man that I had met, who I was dropping him off to Lamborghini, because he worked at the dealership, Paul something dealership. And I remember I was dropping him off, and me and him started talking. It's so funny because when I would have certain passengers who would get in my car, they would often say, I don't know why I'm talking to you. I never hardly talk to, Uber drivers or whatever it was. And I just wanted to have like a place where, as though people, whenever they came into my car, since I was already challenging myself by, strangers getting in my car. And, oftentimes we think that, oh, I don't have nothing in common with this person. We have much more in common than we think we do. And I would play certain things. I always played personal development stuff, because that's what I was listening to, without me doing Uber, during Uber. I was already listening to personal development stuff, because I'm constantly always, working on myself, seeing how I could become better, right? And so the Mystic Path to Cosmic Power, I don't want to drag this video out. Okay, I highly recommend, and you guys know I recommend books. Okay, and the ones that get it, get it. The ones that don't, maybe it's not for you to get. Okay, but this book is such a powerful read that I had this book for a while. I read this book several times. If you look, the cover is actually coming off of it. And I'm just gonna read this part now. I touched briefed on this earlier, um, but I didn't read the whole thing. So it says, let me see. Let me start from from this page. So it says, a wife is unafraid, and it talks about the only answer to anger. All right. You eventually reach a very interesting state. You will have no time to fool around with things that used to bother you. You ignore them. You pass by. You smile at amusement at the childish attempts of fear and worry to drag you down. You calmly see that they have no power whatsoever to touch the new you. In this advanced state, a businessman is not afraid of competition or poor commercial conditions. A wife is unafraid of her husband or children or relatives. A husband is without anxious feelings towards his employer or friend. A single person is no longer preyed upon by loneliness. A citizen is free from apprehension towards a domineering government or worldwide threats. On this higher level, no one is afraid of anyone. Then can men have no more power over us? Because they can neither take us by our desires nor by our fears. Do you see something of extraordinary depths in this declaration? You know, Mr. Howard, I feel free in these classes to speak about things I usually hide. Take anger. I try not to get mad but feel every time. I would like to hear what you have to say about this. You must stop trying not to get angry. This is suppression, which only makes it worse. Whenever you are angry, be angry without condemning yourself for it. Listen carefully, please. You do condemn yourself for being angry. This is why you hide it. You have an ideal picture of yourself as being a peaceful person, a non-angry person. So whenever anger arises over something, it shocks you. You are shocked because the actual anger clashes with the imaginary picture you have of being a non-angry person. Because you don't like giving up this flattering and phony picture, you get angry often. This is so utterly new. I want to think about it. So I must now give up my pretentious picture of being a non-angry person. You can do this by observing your anger without identifying with it. Simply watch it come and go without shame or comment. This is the only way in the whole wide world you or any other person ever frees himself of anger. And it is quite necessary that you free yourself. Well, as you say, we can't be angry and happy at the same time. One of the things you have to understand, I remember hearing this so many times, that in order to make room for the good that we desire, we have to get rid of what is no longer serving us. And you cannot face something or free yourself from something that you feel as though you don't have, right? Like if you say you're not angry, but if everybody is telling you angry, then it's for you to start looking at it, right? Like for me, I would hear a lot of times growing up, I was mean, right? And when I had children, they would often say I was mean. And before I would just say, no, I'm not mean, And then it's for me to look at that. Perhaps there's some truth to it. I done heard a few people say, that I'm mean, and none of them hardly knew each other. Okay, some of them knew each other, but for the most part, they didn't even know each other. And so it's for me to look at that. It's for me to look at, perhaps why do I act mean at times, right? And many times we do try to hide certain things that we do because we don't want people to see how we may react, right? Some people call that the shadow side. You don't want people to see, how you really respond to things, right? And in order for you to be free from that anger, that resentment, the jealousy, the whatever it is, okay, you need to take a look at it. And so I hope this helps someone out. I am reading today The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power by Vernon Howard. And then I am also reading The Way to Love by Anthony DeMello. Okay. So with that being said, I catch you guys on the next one. Rock out, believe in yourselves, keep going, keep growing, and keep glowing. Till next time. Peace.